Gentlemen, welcome to the Prime Dude. We are here to review Charles Tyrwhitt dress shirts. You've probably heard of them. If you haven't, that's fine. I'm going to do a deep dive review on exactly what to expect when you go to order a Charles Tyrwhitt dress shirt, what to expect from a company that hails out of Jermyn Street, London. This is an area in London that is known for its fine tailoring, so that definitely caught my eye. I had to see if it was worth it. I'll get into the review here in a moment and tell you all about what these dress shirts are all about from Charles Tyrwhitt. Let's get into the show. In the men's fashion industry, I have not seen growth in any segment like I have in online custom or somewhat custom dress shirts. And we'll talk about what that means in reference to Charles Tyrwhitt, but there's so many options. You probably know Proper Cloth. You might not have heard of the Tailor Store. I'm going to be doing reviews on all of these products because I own them all, I wear them all for work, I travel in all of them, and with no exception, Charles Tyrwhitt is one of my go-to brands after trying out a couple of their shirts, and I can say I'm pleased. I'm going to get into the details now. One of the things I love about Charles Tyrwhitt, not just the fabric and the feel, but all of the options you have for different styles, designs, and patterns. That's a must for me because I love different colors. Not only do I love blues and whites, how they mix together, whether stripes, checks, you name it. I love lilac. I love light purples. I think they're incredibly versatile, and I think they're a year-round color, right? A nice lilac or strong purple, light purple shirt looks great with gray and dark blues, black, you name it. Gray sport coat and lilac, you can't beat it. All right, let's talk about the fabric, guys. We've got to have something that's comfortable. We'll get into sizing too and everything else, but let's start with the fabric. This shirt feels great. This is one of their non-irons. It's a blue stripe on a white background, which you can't beat for versatility. I love stripes. Got to be careful when they get too thick. They also have the thinner Bengal stripe options in their dress shirts like all of the competitors do. And this shirt is part of their off-the-rack multi-fit selections, which is what you got to go with. And I'll talk about pricing there at the end. First of all, this is a 17-inch neck, right? And I go with a 35-inch sleeve when I go off the rack. Now, I've tried the custom. You can do increments of 1/2 inch. So if you're between and you want a 34.5, which sometimes fits me, that's fine. But 35 works great. If you're not sure, you can always go up because if you pay for those 1/2 inch increments, it's a custom fit or it's an extra charge. So if you just want a little sleeve increase by 1/2 inch, it's going to cost you $17.95. So keep that in mind. So off the rack, they go 32, 33, 34, whatever sleeve length you like. And of course, they have all the 1/2 increments you need for your neck. Like I said, I'm 17. Now, they have 3 different fits. Let's talk about those specifically. You have classic, slim, and extra slim. And do not be misled by this. I've talked about this before. They're being generous when they say slim. So I weigh 195 pounds. I'm 6'2", pretty big guy. Now I'm in a more fit stage of my life, hoping to stay there, but I fit well in the extra slim, and I've got plenty of room. So slim is not really slim, right? They have classic, which has tons of room for you bigger guys in the midsection, right? It's also going to have a lot more room in the yoke, right? Shoulders and in the chest. The slim is going to trim it out and be more tailored just slightly. And of course, then you have the extra slim, which is what I've gone with since my first order. My first order, which I should be able to show you, got to find it. I don't wear it as much because it's a little baggy on me, was in the slim with a 17-inch neck and a 34-inch sleeve, which turned out to be a little short for me. Now, I kept that shirt for review purposes, but I could have returned it free and exchanged it for something that fit better. So that's one thing to make sure you know here. No matter what fit you turn out to be, you can try a shirt risk-free. And even if they have one of their multi-buy options, you think, gosh, if I'm only buying one, I'm going to pay well over $100. The first shirt when you start a new account is going to be around $40. So they give you that first discount. They want you to try it and find your perfect fit. And with 3 options, which is not common, usually there's 2. Usually dress shirt companies have like a slim and classic or traditional and slim. Charles Tyrwhitt gives you a consistency here, right? You've got all 3. Classic, slim, extra slim. When you go to order, and once you find your fit, you can do 4 at a time. They have these multi-buy deals going all the time. They advertise it as if it's something that's going to go away. It hasn't. So you can do 4 shirts once you find your size, and the retail price comes out to be about $65 each. For something that's close to custom, that gives you fit variation and all the neck and sleeve lengths and measurements you need. I think that's really good when you look at what's out there. Is it as good as Tailor Store or Proper Cloth? I'll let you decide when I release those reviews, but it is an excellent place to start, especially if you don't want to go over $100 and you need some shirts. The multi-buy is great, and it also counts for their polos. Those shirts I'll talk about in another show. All right, let's get into Charles Tyrwhitt's custom shirt option. Now, you can customize different measurements and fits to an extent, meaning it's not pure custom where you're going to put in your measurements like you would with Proper Cloth or the Tailor Store or other online custom shirt makers, but they give you more options, but you're going to pay for them. So for about $50 more over the retail price for one shirt, you're going to take you close to $150. They do have options to make these a little more narrow around the wrist, which is, for me, is better. But I think they could avoid that altogether. And I think this is a negative when they only offer one button for your shirt cuffs. There should be two because these aren't truly custom. And a second button would allow those of us with more narrow wrists to go snug around the wrist. And this is important for how the dress shirt goes through the sleeves of a jacket. When I shoot my arms through, I want to make a little tug, and I want these sleeves to show through the end of the jacket sleeves. When your cuff is too wide, right, if there's too much room between your wrist and the shirt cuffs, that space will cause the shirt to drag in the jacket. It doesn't look right. And if your sleeve length is right, it's probably going to go beyond the hands when you extend. That's not a look you want. It can look sloppy. So if Charles Tyrwhitt would add that second button, it would save people a lot of money. Instead, if you need more narrow wrists, you're going to have to customize, and you're going to have to go with the more narrow wrist option and pay extra. And these shirts are very comfortable. But if you have to fidget with your cuffs, right, your wrists, when you put on a jacket, when you sit down, and that big gap is too big. This isn't. Believe me, I like a little room. You can go more snug, but don't go too tight. Get a good measurement. Know your measurement. Take it to an alteration specialist. I had 4 shirts from Charles Tyrwhitt adjusted. I had this button moved, and he charged me $10 a spot, right? 2 buttons each side, 1 button each side, right? 2 per shirt, and you're golden. I know I've shown you a lot of pictures. If you guys have more questions about Charles Tyrwhitt, give me a buzz, right? Hit me up in the comments. I'm going to link a bunch of their shirts, all the ones I own, all the shirts I show you throughout this video. And of course, guys, if you got anything from this or the other videos, my YouTube shorts, please like, subscribe, set your alerts, and share and tell your people, your friends about the Prime Dude, because I'm investing in all of these clothes for you, right? And I hope what I told you about Charles Tyrwhitt encourages you to go to the site and gives you a little bit more confidence on how to order without spending too much money and feeling you have to do the custom option. Because with Charles Tyrwhitt, that's not truly custom, right? We just want to make a few adjustments, and if you do them on your own and you like how the shirt feels, then it's all worth it, especially if you're well under $100. Thanks for tuning in, guys. Can't wait to see you on the next show.